Hello everybody, Ragtag Zagby here. Welcome to the next episode. In the last episode we went around doing the monastery stuff, so let's look at supports before we do some more stuff.
You know, Hilda, I really appreciate how open-minded you are.
Oh? How do you mean?
People usually try to hold me back when I get into a fight. Not you, though. I like that about you. What was it again? You like a good fight? Yeah, I remember it now.
I'm not sure where you got that from. I try to avoid conflict of all kinds.
That can't be right. You complimented my fighting. Said you were smitten by it.
Well, if you really must know, I want to live freely, with nothing tying me down, so your uninhibited attitude does appeal to me. You don't let rules hold you back. You do things your way and no one else's.
That makes sense. I guess I am pretty impressive. You're really amazing too, you know that?
Oh, me? Amazing? Shucks. I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
I think most people like to force their ideas on everyone else. They'll tell someone off if they don't like how the other person is living. Try to make them change even if they don't want to. You're different, though. You let people live however they want. There aren't a lot of people like you in the world.
Oh, stop. You're going to make me blush. No one's ever paid me so many compliments.
Come on, really?
My big brother liked to tell me how lazy and careless I was. I've gotten scolds aplenty, but compliments, I'm not accustomed to.
That's surprising. But I don't think you should let it bother you so much. You shouldn't let anyone change you, or else you'll end up losing the qualities that make you so great.
I suppose you're right. Wow. Thanks, Caspar. We should live our own lives and stop worrying about others' opinions.
Hey, Catherine. I wanted to tell you I've decided to do things my own way.
I'm happy for you, Caspar, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, you know, in life and death situations like we talked about. I spent a lot of time thinking, but it was tough to figure out. Then I realized I was wasting my time. I decided I should keep fighting the way that feels right to me.
I thought that might be your decision.
I've still got something important to ask you, though.
Something important, huh? Let's hear it.
Could you, keep an eye on me?
What? Why?
I may have decided to do things my own way, but I'm sure I'll still mess up sometimes. I might be able to avoid any real damage if a Knight of Saros has my back.
I see. Then I refuse.
Oh, great. Thanks so much. I knew you'd... What?
After deciding to take your own path, you ask someone else to watch over you? It's like you can't think for yourself. Your simple-mindedness is kind of charming, but still.
I really thought you'd say yes. Now what am I supposed to do?
I don't know. I'm not your babysitter. You want someone to watch after you? Become the type of man people can't look away from.
Ah, Bernadetta, have you finished your illustrations?
Yes, I have. Finally. This is the first time I've ever made anything for a real-life book. I was up all night finishing these. Bernie's all burned out now. I guess if they're no good, we'll just have to burn them all, eh?
Let's leave the topic of burning aside for now, shall we? Show me what you've done.
So, what do you think?
This is excellent work. The color, especially. It truly brings your art to life. I will see that the new edition of our book is added to the Garrigmach collection.
Really? Oh, that's such a relief. It was a tough job, but yeah, there's nothing Bernie can't handle.
You certainly do have some impressive mood swings. Actually, there is one thing I'd like to discuss.
Oh no, what did I get wrong?
Relax. I simply wanted to ask you about this last image. This is you here, is it not?
Yes. Is that wrong? What's wrong with it?
Nothing at all. I'm only curious. Does that make me the person standing beside you?
Oh, no, that's Saint Cichol.
Is that so? Then I must ask, what relationship are you suggesting you have with him?
Well, I got the impression that the story of Saint Indek was told from Saint Cichol's point of view. So I just imagined that I asked Saint Cichol about it. And, that's where the picture came from. I guess I overdid it, huh? That's weird, isn't it? It's really weird. We can scrap it. Let's just get rid of it.
Ah, so that's why. That's amusing.
It is?
Very much. And I think this is a very fitting end to the book, actually. Saint Cichol and Bernadetta. They would have made quite an interesting pair, I think. In fact, if the two of you had lived in the same time, I am certain you would share a deep bond.
What? Saint Cichol and me? No way. I've already got my hands full just trying to be friends with you. But I've managed that at least, right? Haven't I?
Absolutely.
Sylvain!
Hey, Felix. I'm glad you're safe.
You irresponsible fool! Protecting me like that? You're so weak and yet you always...
Look, it doesn't matter. As long as you're safe. You can go on living, while I...
Stop kidding around! You're not going to die. I won't let you!
Nah, I won't die on you, I promise. You think something like this could kill me? No way. A little magic will take care of the wound. Some bed rest, then I'm good to go out and do it all over again.
Sylvain?
Oh, come on, that was funny. It's not like you to be so concerned.
You really are a fool. The biggest in all of Fodlan. I thought something was off. There's no way you could die from such a small cut. You're so reckless and inattentive. I thought this might be divine punishment.
Hey, that's not nice. You should be thanking me.
I am grateful. You've been doing this since we were children. Constantly fooling around, but then showing up and helping when we really need you. I'll admit, seeing that smile on your face, I almost want to give you a hug. Almost.
A hug? Did you get hit on the head? Come on. Tell me you want to hug me again. I liked it.
I won't be repeating it, you halfwit. You're obviously fine, so I'll leave now.
You know how we grew up together?
Obviously.
Do you remember the promise we made when we were kids? About sticking together until we die together?
I remember.
Well, I'm really not trying to get myself killed before you. You know that, right?
I know. But I'm tired of these close calls. You have to stop fooling around. Take your training more seriously. You can die whenever you please, but I'm not going down with you.
Okay, I get it. Once I've healed, I'll get my act together.
Then I hope you have a speedy recovery. Sylvain, thank you.
That's what friends are for, Felix.
Hello, Felix. Training alone again, I see.
Spying on me again, I see.
It is not my intention to spy. I am merely concerned about you. I do not think you have been keeping your friends at a distance because you dislike them personally. Rather, I think what bothers you is their concept of proper knighthood. Is that not so?
You really have been watching me closely. You're correct. I don't understand why they revere knighthood. I won't be friends with anyone who believes in that nonsense.
Do you feel that way because of what happened in the tragedy of Dusker? I have heard the story. Your brother was one of the royal knights. He gave his life to defend the prince.
My brother was doing his job. My father is the real problem. When my brother's armor was brought back to the castle, do you know what he said? He died like a true knight. Chivalry begets the worship and glorification of death. Am I alone in finding that grotesque? I suppose you'll excommunicate me for blaspheming like this.
Not at all. I am not a knight, so I have no intentions of lecturing you about chivalry. So long as one's conduct is consistent with the teachings of the goddess, it is up to the individual to decide right from wrong.
In that case, I'd like you to formally pardon me for not having friends.
You require no such pardon. This is merely advice from an old man to a younger one. As unwavering as your convictions may be, the others also feel strongly about their beliefs. If you hate all those whose beliefs are different from yours, you will hate everyone eventually. People with exactly the same beliefs as you simply do not exist. You do not have to change your beliefs, of course. But you do have to accept that others feel differently. That is my advice to you. I will speak no more of it.
Seteth, can I ask one thing? Why are you going out of your way to tell me this? Why bother with me at all?
Because I trust you. Now that I've heard what you have to say, I trust you even more. I am also a rather eccentric person. I thought you and I might get along.
I see. You've gone to so much trouble. I may have to start making an effort as well.
Good. Do not take this the wrong way, but I hope you will surpass my expectations.
Annie, do you have a moment?
Is this about what happened when we were shopping? If so, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Not so fast. I haven't properly apologized yet. So, I'm sorry. I got scared. Imagine if something bad happened to you because of me.
Mercy.
You would have just run away if you were on your own, wouldn't you? Instead, you acted defensively because I was there. I dragged you down.
Mercy, you're upsetting me. How dare you say that you dragged me down? You know why I was acting so recklessly? Because I wanted to protect my best friend in the whole world.
Annie.
Do you remember when we first enrolled at the academy? It seemed like everyone was leagues ahead of us and so far out of reach. I felt completely hopeless. But because you were there, I didn't lose hope. So, don't say stupid things about how you dragged me down or how you don't deserve things.
Thank you for saying that. And again, I'm sorry. You're just so important to me. I know I could never find another friend like you. You've stayed by my side through thick and thin. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if anything happened to you because of me.
Mercy, can we be friends again?
Of course, Annie. Friends forever.
Good. I don't know what I would have done if we hadn't found a way to make up.
I'm sorry. I should have said something sooner.
No, I'm the one who should have stopped being so stubborn and said something. You know, now that everything's as it should be, I'm suddenly starving.
That's just like you. Come, let's go for tea.
Ooh, let's! And we should have some Mercy-baked sweets on the side. I think I love you more than just about anything in the world.
You do? Oh, Annie, you're too sweet. Not as sweet as your baking. I love your baking more than anything in the world, too. Other than you. Well, I'm always happy to bake for you, Annie. I'm so happy to have you back. Oh, Ignatz. What are you sighing over?
Sorry, I shouldn't sigh in such a holy place.
There's nothing wrong with it. I sigh here all the time. The goddess receives all our prayers and our sighs. What's bothering you? I'd be happy to talk about it if you'd like.
Oh, it's nothing. Not worth talking about.
Is that so? Am I not worth talking to?
That's not what I meant. Sorry to offend you. I'll tell you about it. I'm just uncertain about my future. My father wants me to be a knight. I don't think I can handle it. Can you imagine a knight as pathetic as me?
I don't find you pathetic at all. Is there something you would rather pursue?
Well, I've always loved painting.
You want to become an artist? How wonderful!
What's your ambition?
Me? I simply want to help people with their troubles. Those who can't help themselves. I've considered working for the church, but that's only a vague idea. Oh, I'm sorry. We were supposed to be discussing your troubles.
Not at all. I'm actually feeling a little better. Knowing that you aren't sure about your future, I don't feel quite so alone.
Everyone in this world feels a little lost, you know. I really do believe that the life of an artist is a wonderful dream to pursue. There was a beautiful painting of the goddess in the church where I used to live. Whenever times were difficult, I would stare up at her and sigh. Thinking about that painting helps me even now.
I've always wanted to paint the goddess.
You should. I'm sure your painting will help someone else in their time of need.
I can't paint anything powerful enough to do that. I wish I could. Maybe one day. I'll give that some thought. Thank you, Mercedes.
Good morning, Hilda. Is anything troubling you today?
Nope, nothing. If there was, I don't think I'd ask for your help.
I'm sorry to hear that. Have I done something to upset you?
Not exactly. You go overboard helping me is all. You do way, way too much. So I feel guilty, like I'm putting you out.
Goodness, it was never my intention to have you worry about me.
Can I ask you something?
Of course, what is it?
What are you doing today?
Following my morning prayers, I'll be cleaning the altar, then caring for the flowers in the greenhouse. Then it's off to the library to help organize and sort, then to the dining hall to wipe down the tables and chairs. The floors could use a good polish too. Oh, and the weather's so nice that I might air out the bedding. After that, it's...
Wow, you're still not done? There's more?
Well, the dishcloths in the dining hall are all frayed, so I was hoping to mend them.
Sewing? Don't you think that's too much?
Whatever do you mean? And why are you speaking so loudly all of a sudden?
I'll help with the dining hall, but I am not sewing.
You want to help? That would be delightful.
Everyone asks you for help, and you always say yes, don't you?
I suppose. I believe it's important to help where you can. If you see someone in trouble, you can't leave them, can you?
You're too kind, Mercedes. Literally, I can't empathize.
I'm sure you can. You and I are very similar in that way.
Are you serious? How? We have nothing in common.
That may be so, but you thought I was in trouble, and you agreed to help, didn't you?
Well, I mean, yes.
That's That's exactly what I do. I'm so happy to have found a kindred spirit.
If that's what makes you happy, okay. Kindred spirits. Let's go with that.
Now that I've got you at my side, I can take on even more responsibilities.
Not a chance.
Is it over?
Yes, that's all there is. You listened all the way to the end.
Oh, Mercedes, thank you. And I didn't cover my ears even once.
There's no need to thank me. You're the one who did all the hard work. You should be proud of yourself. Now you can face any challenge on the battlefield without fear. I had always planned on working in the monastery once the war was over. But seeing knights like you makes me consider joining up.
You want to join the Knights of Seros?
Helping those in need with the goddess always at my side? I can't think of a better way to live.
I think the Knights of Seros wouldn't be quite what you expect. As a knight myself, I slew countless foes. I shudder at the memory of my own deeds. The corpses I made, heaped in a pile, would be like a mountain. I suppose that's why I'm so frightened of ghosts. What if they appear before me, seeking revenge? Perhaps it's a silly thing to worry about, but still.
I'm well aware of the nature of a knight's duty, but I no longer have anything to fear. I've been on the battlefield. I've killed my enemies many times.
I see. What would your parents think about you planning to become a knight?
My mother would respect my wishes, but my adoptive father would need to be persuaded.
Before you talk to them, I had better relate some of the darker chapters in the knight's history. It's your turn to listen, Mercedes.
Thank you, Eloise. And you should know, I intend to improve my ghost storytelling as well.
Pardon?
If I want to continue helping you, I'll have to seek out much scarier stories to share.
Oh, well, you needn't go to any trouble.
Nonsense! It's no trouble at all. Besides, we have to help each other the best we can.
I suppose that's true. Thank you.
What's the use? Even with all I've learned, I still don't understand.
Hello, Constance. I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just in need of a sympathetic ear. I found a magical scroll, which, unless I am mistaken, should relieve me of my woes.
Oh, wonderful!
Not so fast. The magic within this scroll is a type I have neglected to study. It pains me to admit this, but it may take decades of going back to the basics to grasp it.
Decades? That's a long time to spend with your nose buried in an old piece of parchment.
Why must the goddess dangle a solution before me, only to cruelly pull it away?
There's no need to despair. To tell the truth, I like you just as you are.
You do? Why? Those low moods of mine have never done anyone the least bit of good.
You're like a little sister to me. Nothing you do will change that, not even a little bit.
Really?
Of course, you're my sweet Constance, and I like you just as you are.
I see. Perhaps my moods are not the great burden I thought they were.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pressure you. No matter what decision you make, I support you.
I felt no pressure, I assure you. It's more that I feel embarrassed to have been embarrassed. I'd put so much effort into finding a magical means to alleviate myself that it never occurred to me that maybe all I needed was to accept myself.
What will you do with the scroll you found?
Oh, I'll continue to research it, for research's sake if nothing else, but I may have no need of it.
It's not as if these moods of mine have ever hampered my efforts to restore my house. And I am as a sister to you, no matter which face I present, yes? Nothing, no mood, no foe, no obligation, will keep me from honoring my sisterly duty to protect you. We can protect each other. Good. It is settled. Now we can begin the hard work of reclaiming our titles.
Absolutely. We'll become sister sages and restore our houses to their former glory.
You understand the plan perfectly. If we walk this path together, it can only end in triumph.
Where are you going, Ingrid?
Oh, hi. I see you spotted me. Saw me. I don't want to disturb you.
Don't worry. I just finished my painting of Saint Cichol.
Oh, that's wonderful. May I see?
Of course. Take a look.
Whoa. She looks so different from the other painting. Much more divine and gentle.
She looks so real, doesn't she? So alive. Perhaps it's boastful for me to say that.
Not at all. She really does. She has a glowing vibrancy to her. Looking at this painting, I feel so inspired.
I was going to paint her as loving and benevolent, but then I remembered your idea, and I decided to depict her fighting for her people.
Really? Actually, now that I look closer, I see her sword is rather large, and she seems to be in a battle stance.
That's right. Although, of course, I had to discard some of your more absurd suggestions.
I'm sorry about that.
No, wait! That's not what I meant. I see that if I open myself up to suggestions from other people, new things become possible. And I have you to thank for that realization.
If that's true, I'm very glad I could help. You made a good point. We can't be blinded by our own thought patterns and ideas. It's important to be open to others as well. By doing so, we discover new paths for ourselves, and we can become better in ways we may never have imagined.
Exactly.
Thank you, Ignaz. You've reminded me of a very valuable lesson. I'm going to strive to be more attentive and listen to other people's ideas.
Me too. And I've just had a new idea for a painting.
I can't wait to see it. I bet it'll be a masterpiece.
Hey, Raphael. Reading a letter?
Well, if it isn't old Ignaz. I got a message here from my sis.
Oh, a letter from Maya. I haven't seen her in so long. I bet she's all grown up.
Nah, she's still a shrimp. It's been a while since I saw her. But she's probably only up to your shoulders.
Wow. I can't believe she's gotten that tall.
I wrote to tell her about how we're friends again. Do you remember this?
Is that the picture I drew for her?
She sent it along with the letter. I guess she held on to it since we were kids. All right, that's enough looking. She said to show it to you and send it right back.
To think she's handling my little doodle with such reverence. That warms my heart. I remember the day I gave Maya that drawing. She looked so happy. Before then, I never knew I could make people happy with art. It was a revelation. I've been drawing and painting ever since, in hopes of becoming an artist one day.
You're much better now, so it must be paying off. I bet you could be a real artist.
No, that's not possible, I'm afraid. I have to consider my parents' wishes.
Who cares what your parents want? It's not like you're a noble or nothing. Your fate is your own.
Huh. You think so?
I know so. And I'm gonna support you with whatever dream you got. Okay, let me see. What's the first step to follow your dreams? Oh, got it. You should paint me.
Paint you?
Yeah, I want my little sis to know how good I'm doing here. So I gotta send her proof. Plus, she'll be doubly impressed if it's a painting you made.
Good point. I can certainly try to capture your likeness. I'll paint you with a warm, cheerful expression on your face to bring Maya comfort.
My face? No way! You gotta get my muscles in there! Mostly my chest and arms.
Are you sure that's what she'd want to see?
Wait! Before you start painting, I gotta get me a little more training in. If my muscles aren't bulging, then what's the point?
I'm not sure about this.
Hey!
Oh, Lysithia. Something I can do for you?
Can you help me out with my shopping?
Yes, of course. You need me to carry stuff?
Actually, can you pick up some tea for me? I'd do it, but I'm drowning in work.
You're so busy you can't go shopping. Okay. Do you have a favorite kind of tea?
I'm not too picky. I just like having it around, really. Whatever's cheapest works for me. Here's some money.
One question. Why me? You don't really need my help for this.
I just thought I could lean on you a bit. You know, rather than trying to do everything on my own.
Right, I see. Well, good. I'm glad you decided to approach me. But for this particular task, you might be better off doing it yourself.
Oh?
There are so many different kinds of tea, and I'm not very discerning. Well, what if I get you one you don't like? When I do my own shopping, I pick a tea at random. Otherwise, I'd be paralyzed by all the choices. It's the same with food. Sometimes I stare and stare at the options and never decide.
You look like you were doing just fine when you went to get groceries the other day.
I really had to push myself to do that alone. I don't think I can do that again. Sorry.
Uh-huh. So, you've stopped trying to do things on your own, then?
Yeah. Still, though. For today, how about you have some of my tea? If that'll do.
Sounds nice, sure. Do you mind brewing mine while you're at it?
I'll get it ready right away. Feel free to start focusing on your work. What?
I mean, you seem plenty reliable to me.
I do. Really? How so?
You're fun, you're easy to be around, and you rarely complain when you help others.
Well, I'm just pouring you some tea. I'm not sure that qualifies as help.
It's not easy for me to rely on people, but with you, it's different.
Well, there aren't many things I can do, frankly. But what I can do, I will do. So if you need anything, ask me, and I'll try to help.
You really are unreliable, as it turns out. Guess I'll just have to take your word for it.
Huh. What's that about? Marianne, I saw you on the training grounds earlier. It looked like there was an argument.
Oh, no. It was nothing.
Are you sure? Nothing happened at this morning's training?
Well...
Okay, tell me what happened.
I just couldn't keep up with the rest of the group. Everyone got so mad at me. They said something about looking into their eyes so I could read their movements, but I couldn't do it.
They may have a point.
I'm a hindrance to everyone. I can't do it.
Of course not. That goes without saying. It's hard to accomplish anything on your own. Look at me. By myself, I'm worse than useless. Can you see where I'm going with this? To succeed, you have to cooperate. You can't do that if you're not paying attention to nonverbal cues.
Huh?
Please, try looking up. Looking people in the eye. You'll see some things that you've never seen before. People worry about you, and rely on you. You'll see that on your allies' faces. In a way, you'll see what they're thinking.
You may be right. It was my fault for looking down. Thank you, Ignatz. I appreciate your encouragement.
Of course. Look, we both saw the sunset and appreciated its beauty. Nature communicates without words. We can do the same. We don't need to speak to be understood. Stop staring at your feet. Look at us. That'll be a good start.
I can certainly try. Is something wrong? Did I say something to upset you?
Oh no, to the contrary. I just realized that I was missing something. A thing of remarkable beauty. Right under my nose.
Remarkable beauty?
What? Don't mind me.
Ugh, where is it? Oh, hello there, Ignatz.
Yes, hello, Hilda. What's the matter?
Oh, it's just that I'm looking for a book. I can't seem to find it anywhere. I think it might be on one of the high shelves. Could you give me a hand?
I'm really sorry, but actually... Some people got hurt while training in magic. I'm rushing to grab some medical supplies.
Whoa, that sounds serious. Don't let me stop you in that case.
Thanks. I'll be right back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now, what was the book you were looking for?
Is everyone okay?
Yes, it turned out to just be some scrapes and bruises. Oh, is that the book?
Yes, I went and grabbed a ladder. That made the book much easier to find.
You could have just asked someone else for their help.
Well, you said people were hurt, so I just figured everyone had more important things to do. Honestly, I don't love heights. It was a bit scary up there, but here we are. I managed.
I see. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't help.
Why are you apologizing, silly? Surely first aid is more important.
I thought you might wait for me to come back, that's all.
Oh, but giving first aid, that's not an easy job. I figured you'd be worn out. The last thing I want is to push you too hard.
That's thoughtful of you, Hilda. Thanks for watching out for me.
Oh, don't mention it. Do my cleaning again and we'll call it even. You did such a lovely job last time. The floor was practically sparkling. I swear the air even tasted cleaner.
I'm glad you liked it. You're really good at giving compliments, you know that? I suppose that's why everyone's so eager to help you with things.
Exactly. By heaping praise on people, they're more eager to help me in the future. Oh, but that's not what's happening here. I was really, truly impressed by your cleaning skills.
I wish I had everything figured out like you.
Hey, Ignatz. Drawing again?
I am. I suppose that's rather irresponsible, as we're in the midst of a war. But ever since we last spoke, I felt keen to pursue my artistic aspirations.
Like I said, it's your calling. Don't feel bad about it.
All right, I'll try to embrace it. And you, are you practicing archery today?
More just double-checking this bowstring. I want to make sure it's ready for the next battle.
Okay. Well, let's both do our best.
That's the spirit. Does that mean you finally accepted that you're an artist?
I'll try to discuss it with my parents after the war. There's little demand for knights in peacetime. In fact, painting might be a more reliable way for me to support my family. I'll try to persuade them with arguments along those lines.
Good point. I'm glad you've got some confidence.
Come to think of it, Leonie, what will you do when the war is over?
Me? I'm going to become a top-tier mercenary.
A mercenary in peacetime?
Even after the war's over, there'll be plenty of work for me to do before peace really takes hold. I'll pay what I owe my village back, with interest. After that, I don't know. Never thought about it.
I'm sure you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Hardly. Lots of options just don't suit me. I mean, could you imagine me as a songstress? But yeah, I don't know. Once I've paid off my debts, I guess I'll just have to find something new.
I don't think there's any rush. You can travel and relax. And think about it.
Travel, huh? There's an idea. Wanna come with?
Huh? Me?
Sure. You were really excited about different styles across the world, weren't you? Don't you want more of that? Maybe even see the sky in a new shade.
Yes, I suppose I do. I'd like to see the whole world.
If your parents object, we'll just say I kidnapped you. Actually, feel free to say that even if you go alone.
Oh no, I want us to see the world together. Your presence makes every landscape more beautiful.
Hey, hold on. What's this all of a sudden?
Oh, that's not what I meant.
You're hilarious, Ignatz. There's never a dull moment with you around. You've been an enormous help. Thanks so much. Excuse me. I have some more supplies that just arrived for the infirmary. Oh, were there more? I thought I'd gotten them all. I just have bandages and other small things, but there might be more coming. Well, I just got the boys to bring in the heavy bottles. Looks like we can't fit all of it without some rearranging, though. You know, if you'd arrived earlier, you could have helped me tidy up. My apologies. I don't really need your apologies. I need your help. Oh, okay. How can I help? How can you help? I said tidy up, didn't I? See the shelves there? See if you can clear out some space and tuck away the bandages. I can try. Hey, careful, Marianne. There's some strong stuff in those bottles. I'm sorry, No, look, just leave the bandages for now and move the bottles from the shelf. I can do that. Now the bandages fell. No! So in the end, I did it all by myself. I'm sorry that I was no help. I just got in your way. It's fine. We'll even it out with pastries. You want me to get you pastries? I guess I can. You seem so thoughtful and composed, but you're surprisingly clumsy. It's such an odd mix. I practically have no choice but to take over for you. You're right. I'm sorry. Professor Henneman?
Why, hello, Miss Marianne. A visit from you is a rare pleasure indeed.
I wanted your opinion on something.
Oh, how intriguing. Whatever is on your mind.
I'm beginning to feel that I should accept who I am. I thought it might be time to change my training regimen, to utilize my crest, even if just a little.
What a splendid thought. Quite exceptional. May I ask how it is you've reached this conclusion? I admit, I did not imagine my words would do much to sway you.
The truth is that I was already considering it before we spoke. All of my allies work relentlessly to achieve their goals, both on and off the battlefield. Seeing this, it occurred to me that I have nothing to work toward. I'm no use to anyone. If I could accept who I am, even a little, I might be able to change that. I was still considering, but after we spoke about it, well...
Well, indeed. So it seems my words resonated with you after all.
I'm sorry. I know I'm not the best at communicating. But it's true. Your words gave me a lot to think about. They helped me come to this decision. Whatever my crest, it should serve me.
That's it. Exactly right, Miss Marianne.
That's not to say I've accepted it completely, but I refuse to continue living in fear of myself.
I have every confidence that you will succeed at drawing out your crest's full strength. And I intend to help you at every step. If you'll have my help, that is.
Of course. Your knowledge is much appreciated.
Hey, Hilda. You said you wanted to talk? Whoa. What's with all these expensive necklaces? Why do you have them all laid out like that?
Pretty, right? I'll let you choose whichever you like.
Huh? Why would you do that?
Just choose. I want you to have one.
I'm not gonna accept a gift like that without a reason. Even with a reason, I'd probably decline.
Look how gorgeous they are, though. Wearing beautiful things gives you energy.
Maybe for you.
Yes, for me. Why would it be any different for you?
Because to me, those are just fancy decorations. Take this one, for example. How did you come by it?
This was the first necklace I picked out for myself. It doesn't suit my style nowadays, so I don't often wear it.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. The sentimental value of each one. These necklaces are nice and all, but I don't have any special feelings or memories about any of them. But this charm, it's packed with things I don't want to forget. Captain Gerald's teachings and a lot of memories, too. Even if to you, it's just a dirty hunk of wood.
I do understand. But still, you're not going to be very popular with the boys if you keep wearing that dirty old thing.
Like I care about that.
You can drop the whole stony-faced act. Come on, I'm offering to help you here. I could even make a charm for you as a gift, if you're really hung up on sentimental value.
Make a charm for me? You do that?
Sure, why not? I don't want you to be alone your whole life. Besides, this happens to be a talent of mine. It'll be really, really cute, so you'd better wear it.
Sure. I can't just accept a gift for nothing, though. I'll make one for you, too, if you'll teach me how. And I'll put plenty of feeling into it, so when we exchange them, it will really mean something.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I'll gladly teach you how, but make me something cute, okay?
I'll see what I can do.
Oh, it's Seteth. I'd better slip away before he...
Ah, I see you are indulging in a bit of reading. You are fond of books, I take it?
Yes, reading's one of my favorite pastimes. I was just finishing up, actually, so I think I'll...
That is most fortuitous.
Fortuitous? How do you figure?
Come with me. I have a story to share with you. Once upon a time, deep in the cold mountains, there lived a lazy fox and an industrious squirrel. The squirrel worked tirelessly all day long, while the fox did nothing but lounge around and play. When autumn came, the squirrel hurriedly gathered up acorns for the winter. But the fox continued to play without a care. A biting winter fell upon the land. The mountains, caked in snow, concealed all nourishment from sight. The hungry fox went to the squirrel's dwelling, but the squirrel had locked up tight and gone to sleep. Every so often, the squirrel would wake, enjoy a nibble of an acorn, and then return to an easy slumber. The fox, on the other hand, with nowhere else to turn, was forced to scrounge for food in the bitter cold of the forest. Forlorn and hungry, he wandered in solitude all through the winter, until spring came once more. And so it is to this very day that foxes are denied the comforts of hibernation.
Ah, I really learned something about foxes. I read lots of fairy tales like that when I was little. But the lazy fox and the industrious squirrel, huh? That one I don't think I've heard before.
That is not surprising, considering I wrote it.
Oh, you wrote it?
I did. When Flame was young, she loved fairy tales more than anything. I would read them to her often. This one, however, is a more recent creation. I wrote it for the benefit of the children in the monastery. So, what do you think? I'm curious to hear what sort of impression it made on you.
It's so cute!
You found it to be cute?
I can just see it now. You writing fairy tales for your little sister. That's just the cutest thing. Honestly, to me, you usually come across as stern and overly perceptive. But now I know you have a sweet side too. I feel like I'm seeing you in a whole new light.
That is not what I was hoping to hear.
Baldy, still training at this hour? How unexpectedly diligent of you.
Ah, Hilda! How are things? Anything of note to report?
No? I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, I don't know. You haven't been approached by any lovelorn goons lately, have you?
Now that you mention it, it's been a few days since any guys have flirted with me.
Fantastic! They got the hint.
Whoa, wait a second. Are you pulling some weird prank on me?
Of course not. I'm just doing my best to keep my promise to Holst, that's all.
Oh, not this again. That was ages ago. I'm sure my brother's forgotten all about it.
Dead wrong, pal. I actually had the chance to see him recently, and he had a new request for me.
What? He told you to get rid of any guys who show interest in me so that I stay his innocent little sister forever?
That sounds more like Seteth than Holst, don't you think?
Fair point. What was the request?
Guys here have the gall to consider you a potential bride. It's my job to test them, see if they're worthy.
I don't like where this is going.
Since Holst isn't here to do the honors, I've spread the word that nobody is fit to marry you unless they can defeat the great king of grappling in a fight.
What? That's exactly the same as getting rid of them.
How so? It only eliminates the guys who are dumb enough to take up the challenge.
No one is that dumb. No one around here thinks they can beat the stupendous king of grappling or whatever.
That's why I leveled the playing field by allowing sneak attacks. Plenty have already tried their luck. One guy actually tried to strangle me in my sleep.
Wow, a sleep strangler. He sounds like husband material.
And that's why I've been training so much. Can't let you end up with some weakling after all.
This is madness! If you keep getting stronger, there won't be anyone who fits the bill.
True. You could spend your whole life searching and never find a match for Balthus the Great. The only people who stand a chance are Holst and me.
To prove that you're worthy of my hand in marriage, you're going to fight yourself?
I always knew I was my own worst enemy. One day I'll finally meet my equal in battle. Me.
So you're going to punch yourself out? Is that your idea of a romantic gesture?
When that fateful day arrives, Hilda, I want you to know that I intend to keep my word.
Huh. A girl could do worse, I suppose.
Oh, hello, Seteth.
Hello, Leone. I imagine you are here to fish?
Yeah, this is a great spot for it. You must be a pretty experienced fisherman, huh?
Actually, while I have enjoyed the hobby for a long while, I must admit I am less than proficient.
Now that you mention it, I can see you're not having much luck today.
It is likely because I am not using any bait.
Well, that explains it. But why bother fishing at all if you're not even trying to catch something?
Truthfully, I fish only so that I might relax. It is soothing to me to cast the line and watch the water ripple. My days are busy, even hectic. It helps to find peace and quiet every so often.
Oh, that makes sense. Still, if you're going to go to all the trouble, you may as well actually bait the line.
Maybe so. But, to my chagrin, I do not even know what type of bait to use. I learned to fish by accompanying my wife. She was always the one to bait the hooks. She would hand me the rod and I would cast my line. I never paid attention to how the rest was done.
Ah. And your wife, where is she now?
She passed away quite some time ago. Since then, I have only to fish on my own. Even so, I find peace out here. Bait or no bait. What about you? Why do you fish?
Me? Just for the fish, actually. For me, it's purely practical. Catch a bite now, one less meal to worry about later. Hunting, fishing, whatever it takes to get by. That's how I've always done it. I'm not exactly starving right now, but back then, if I couldn't catch something, I'd go hungry. So getting the hang of it was pretty vital.
I would certainly say so. I imagine it is intensely satisfying to catch a fish when the need is so great.
Probably, yeah. The need makes it more purposeful. But hey, if you ever want to try fishing for real, I'd be happy to share my bait with you. And if you catch something, I'll cook it up nicely for you. How's that for motivation?
Oh, are you a skilled chef also?
Can't promise it'll be fancy, but it'll taste good.
Impressive. Wouldn't you know it, I am suddenly overcome with the urge to excel.
Great! Let's get started.
Flame.
Here to pester me, brother?
No, I think I'm the one who ought to be pestered.
Regardless of what I say to you, it is not as though it has any effect in reducing your worry over me.
That is true. No matter where you are, and no matter what you're doing, I will always worry. But that's only because I treasure you so very much. Please understand, I'm not trying to hurt you.
Of that I am well aware. I am touched that you care so deeply. When I think of it, it is my own fault that you have become so overprotective. I cannot blame you.
No, the fault is entirely mine. You were still so young. I placed far too much strain on you, and our lack of resources was no excuse. Worse, I failed to watch you during the battle. Your mother, too. We lost her because of me. Afterward, it broke my heart to see how much you would need to rest just to survive. I swore that I would dedicate every moment remaining in my life to your protection.
Ever since then, I have been afraid of falling asleep. My fear of sleeping is outmatched only by my fear of spending my life alone. Even if it cannot last, I want to live among my peers as one of them, as an ordinary person. Similar to how you and Mother coexisted with your own comrades back then, fighting side by side.
Quite right. I know you must leave the nest someday. No matter how many ages our lives may span, I know that's the way of it.
Father.
Don't.
Nobody is listening, Father. Let me address you as such just this once. I have valued the quiet days you and I have spent alone together, but I am no longer a child. Just as you and Mother met one another, and eventually I was brought into the world, I
know. Please, no more. No matter what happens, you are my daughter. It gives me great joy to see you grow. But please, at least until this war is over, let me continue to worry. You're the most precious person in my life. I can't bear the thought of losing you.
It seems I have no choice in the matter. I shall allow you to worry about me enough for yourself and Mother both. But only that much and no more, my dear Father Cichol.
Thank you, Sethlene.
Good day to you, Seteth.
Persistent, aren't you? If this is about my crest...
No. I thought we might speak of something else for a change.
Is that so?
Indeed. I am quite fond of conversation, even just for the sake of conversation. Just listen to an old man's worries, eh?
Very well. Go ahead.
Perhaps it's due to my age, but I've been troubled by lower back pain lately. Right now, I'm in the process of finding a good way to treat it.
Ah. If it is an ointment you're after, I think Manuela would know more than me.
An excellent suggestion. Yes, I'm sure she will be able to help me with the pain itself, but...
What are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing. I'm only lamenting the fact that I am getting old. It is a pastime I'm not sure I enjoy. Yet I can't help but notice time hasn't taken such a toll on you.
The signs of age may not write themselves plainly on my face, but I feel the strain of years as much as you.
Is that right? But then, that doesn't explain your sister. Your sister, Flame, was born around the time I came to the monastery from the Empire, yes? In all that time, I never knew you to pay her a visit or to write her letters. Yet somehow, the two of you seem very close, like a family who has spent years together. Could this not suggest a different interpretation? Perhaps, like you, she has...
You will not pry into Flame's business. If you interrogate her, no. If you even so much as inquire where she has been or what she has done, I will never forgive you. Never. Investigate me all you wish. I will even cooperate if I must. But Flame...
Calm down, Seteth. I have no intentions of approaching Flame.
Do I have your word on that?
You have my word as a scholar and as a man. I do apologize for using your sister's name in that way.
Using her? What do you... Oh, that is low.
You promised me just now. Investigate me all you wish, you said. I will even cooperate, you said. Do you deny it? Those words were all I needed to hear. Now I have no cause to approach your sister.
It seems I have no choice. To think I have been played the fool by a man of your age.
I'll let that slight go, now that I have your cooperation.
Even with my cooperation, there is no guarantee you will reach the truth.
Oh, Seteth. Searching for the truth is what I do. And I will find it. I promise you that.
Then I suppose I will have to look forward to the day you prove your claims.
And with that, I think we'll end the episode here. In the next episode, we'll do the remaining supports and try to finish up these requests. So if you enjoyed this episode, do like the videos, it helps tremendously. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this episode, and share the video so that way more people can discover my content and help the channel grow. And I'll see you all next time. Later.